And welcome to Crochet Therapy. I'm Barbara, your host, for this episode of, this is our Saturday knitting episode. Normally I say morning coffee and crochet, but not today. Today is Saturday, and today is our knitting Saturday. So listen, I am so glad that you're here. If you are watching after the fact, after the live, welcome. Come on in. I'm so glad that you're here. So this is going to be, an easy one. I am currently working on the sock that I started last week. So let me tell you a little story, okay? Once upon a time, there was a crocheter named Barbara, and Barbara had been crocheting for over 50 years. And when Barbara turned 60 years old, she suddenly decided I would like to, knit. Many times before, this young lady had tried to knit, and she just never really got into it, right? She never really got the hang of it, although she did locate that baby sweater. Of course, it got put back in the hope chest, and so I will have to go get it. Right now, we are reconfiguring the bedroom and moving furniture around. You know what that's like. Yeah, cleaning out closets and doing all kinds of crazy things. So I will show you that, I promise. Just not today. So all of these things, she had tried to knit, never finished one thing until she turned 60. That's the crazy story about me. I have been crocheting for over 50 years. And suddenly, when I turned 60, I decided that I wanted to learn how to knit and I wanted to finish something. Like I was committed to finish something. So I did. I finished several different things. And the last thing that I showed you that I finished was my shawl. And I showed you that last week. So today I want to show you the progress on my sock. Crazy story about this sock. I started it last week. If you watched me last week, you know I kind of panicked a little bit last week while I was, because I cast on live. I mean, I started this sock live with you. I cast on all the 64 stitches, counted them 3 times, right? And then I was like, the directions said to, the directions said to join and then knit 1, purl 1 all the way around. And this girl did not know how to join with knitting. I did not know how to join with knitting. So, yeah. Y'all said, just start knitting, and it will join. Well, I made the mistake, and I'll just give you a little visual. I made the mistake of, okay, so just a visual here. Here's some knitting needles. Come on, baby. Okay, so really, what is happening here? Okay, so let's pretend this is where I cast on all the stitches. Cast on all the stitches. Okay, cool, right? Yeah. So then I put that in my left hand. Let me see if we are mirrored, because I don't want to be mirrored because that messes up everything. Yeah, we're not. Okay, good. So, okay. So I'm right-handed. So I was holding the cast on stitches on the left side, and I started knitting. And once I got through with that, and it was supposed to connect them, right? It was supposed to connect in the round, right? Well, it didn't. So what I should have done was I had, and it's the little magic, it's the little 9-inch. So I should have had the yarn that I had the end on this side. and then started going into this side, because then I would have wrapped and then it would have connected it, but it didn't. Okay. I don't know if that's making any sense, but the cast on, I had it on this side. And so when I went with this side and put it on here, by the time I get done, it was still just the second row of like going back and forth. It was not connected. So by the second row, I started, just keep going in the round, and then it connected automatically. But that first row didn't connect. Neither did the cast on row. So I'm still a little up in the air. I did watch a DVD. I mean, not a DVD. I did watch a YouTube video where it said to knit one and then to increase and then put that over, like knit, what is it? Knit, slip, knit, or something like that, right? I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, so then you do connect it together. But anyway, so that was one of the things that I panicked about last week. Yes. The other thing was I really wasn't used to, I had never used these little tiny needles. And I'm going to show you what my knitting looks like. I had never used these little tiny needles before. Look how tiny they are. And so, it was a challenge. It was a challenge, of course. So I got about 10 rows in, and I realized that I had made a mistake. Like, it was a big mistake, okay? It was kind of a big deal, the mistake that I had made. Now, this one has mistakes in it. I mean, you can see that mistake right there. You see that mistake right there? Yeah. But then on this side, it looks fine. You see? So I have the ability to do it right. I just don't know. So obviously something went wrong there, and I'll tell you what went wrong. The same thing that went wrong the first time I did my sock. Okay, so the first time I did my sock, I started out with 64 in the round, 64 stitches, and by the time I got to like the 10th row, I was at 75 stitches. I was doing something with this that was increasing, and it was probably very similar to what had happened to my very first dishcloth, because my very first dishcloth, it was not a perfect square. It turned into a kite. Okay. So anyway, I did have the same problem with this one. So what I ended up doing, because I was so close to just starting, I went ahead. It was getting really bad. Okay. It was getting really bad. So I actually, I frogged it. I frogged the whole thing, ripped it all out, and started over. So I started over, and I tried to pay really close attention to what was going on. Okay. And I did really well until I got to right here. And so with the knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, all your knits are supposed to be in the same line. All your purls are supposed to be in the same line. And obviously, I must have added another stitch. And so that threw the knit purl off. So I was knitting where there was a purl, and I was purling where there was a knit. And all of a sudden, I noticed that I had done something wrong. Well, I didn't throw a lifeline. And I could have thrown a lifeline, but I didn't. So, and then frogged it back to that. I'm not that familiar with throwing lifelines right now. Not that familiar with it, okay? So anyway, I fixed it. I fixed it and I went on. I brought it Okay, so the first one, it was 75 and it was supposed to be 64. I frogged that one. There was no way I was going to bring it back down and have this like this kind of sock. You know, I really wanted to do a good job on it. So yeah, some of it's okay. Some of it's okay. And then some of it's not okay. So then, 2 rows back, I was noticing that when it was time to knit, I was having a hard time getting the needle to go into the stitch for knitting. I was like really having a hard time, and I was like, what is going on? I've never had a hard time with that before. I've never had a big deal with that before. Well, I should have stopped right away. As soon as that was hard to knit and purl, I should have stopped, because that was my clue that I was going into a different kind of stitch, because I was trying to knit into a purl and purl into a knit, and that is not as easy because your stitches aren't flowing in the direction that your needle is going. So that should have been my first clue, but it wasn't. It took a little bit. And then I realized, oh no, and I looked back and I saw where I must have grabbed extra yarn, and I thought that it was 2 stitches, but it wasn't. It was actually, I had like picked up extra yarn, or I had gone in the wrong way. Or like, because sometimes when you go into the knit stitch, you can go below and actually hook into the knit from the row below by accident. I have done that. See, I'm a new knitter. I am learning. And so then I think what would happen is then that would give me 2 loops. And so I was increasing without meaning to. And then that threw all of the stitches off because everything had shifted, right? My knits into purls and my purls into knits, and that does not work. So I finally figured out what was going on. So I finally got the count back. I needed to get rid of 2 stitches, and I got the count back to 64. And I had only done like this much of it in the wrong, and I tried to fix as much as I could, but I was afraid to like the stitch that I had done the stitch before, I figured out how to back it up a little bit. The others, I did not figure out how to back it up. So anyway, so I did get it back to 64 stitches, and I have done, let's see, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I'm on 17. And so I have to do 20 stitches. And so I'm just going to leave this little, there's a couple little mistakes. Like there is a hole right there. You see that hole right there? Yeah, there's a hole. I don't know what that's from. And then, but some of it is good. Some of it is really good. And so, I don't know. Let me see. Hey, Connie, it's good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. And so, anyway, that is my story about my sock. So this is a top-down sock. So this is the cuff, and I am 3 stitches away from being finished with the cuff, which is knit, purl, and then I can do 60 stitches of just knit. And so that I should be able to do with no problem at all. Now, I kind of got a little bit, I'm not going to say fast because I'm not fast, but I got a little bit in the groove with the knit, purl. And so, and I also figured out how to tell just from the way the stitches were flowing, from where the working yarn came out of, which way or which stitch I needed to do. So when I look at it, if the working yarn comes towards me, I know I just did a purl. And so then I put the yarn backwards, and then I know I need to do the knit stitch. So then I do the knit stitch, and see, there it is again. It's like hard again. What is going on? Let's see, knit, purl, 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 purl. See, I'm one off again. Oh, my Lanta. What is happening? What is happening? So anyway, I'm going to have to count these again, see if I'm at 64. I did just count them, just the row below when I was at 64. So I just have to pay really close attention. These socks are not a mindless thing for me right now. Maybe they will be at what, in the future, but for right now, they are not a mindless thing. They are, see, that's where my 10 is. And so I have 3 more to finish out this, and then I can go for 60 knit stitch only just in the round. And I'm really looking forward to that because this has been a big challenge. So I really do want to count this because, if you don't mind, 2, 4, 6, 8. See, and that's where it could have gone wrong. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Now, is that 2? See, that's the thing. That one, that's 50. Okay. 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I knew I had an extra one. I could tell because the last knit that I just did felt like it should have been a purl. Oh, my Lanta. So like this one, I think what I'm going to do, I don't know. What should I do? Okay, so I have to get rid of one. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to knit and slip. Or I could knit 2 together. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. What should I do? I don't know. Let me see. I think I'm going to knit. See, that feels right. And then this feels right. Okay, I think I'm going to wait until I get to this beginning, and I'm going to, even though it's the beginning, it has a different look to me. Can you see where this is? And do you see how it has like a ridge or something that goes up? I'm not sure about that. Hey, Miguel, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so then this is going to be, see, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, so I did a knit, and now this should be a purl. I think I'm going to purl 2 together. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me purl 2 together. There we go. I mean, I'm just making up stuff right now, aren't I? And then I'm going to purl this one because it's supposed to be a purl. Oh, my Lanta. I should have knit 2 together before, but that's okay because, okay, so this is a knit. I am just I'm a little cuckoo. I'm a little cuckoo. And I know that there should be a way for me to figure it out. And I think the main thing is practice, right? I really think practice is going to make perfect. This is my first sock, and I cannot expect perfection on my first sock. So, all right, so this is the end of that row. I did do a knit together, knit two together. I just grabbed two strands and knit them together. I don't know if I should have done that or shouldn't have done that, but that's what I did. It's my sock. It's my very first sock, and I am determined to keep that at 64. Why, if you have any tips or tricks or hints or anything, if you know why how I keep adding an extra stitch on my needles without knowing it, if you can let me know what to look for, I would be glad to look for that. So I am going to keep working on this. I have been working on this for a little bit. I'll show you that. So see, part of that is the colorway, and part of that, like right here, is the ridge where I made the mistake. Can you see that? Yes, you can clearly see that. So at this point, I'm pretending like I don't see it. I tried to fix it. This is my very first sock. It's going to have mistakes. I'm learning. If I kept ripping it out every time I made a mistake with this first one, I might not get as much learning in, right? So because I have this, but then I also have the leg, and then I have the heel gusset, and that is going to be a big learning curve, So I'm going to get through 3 more rows of this, and then I'm going to work on the leg and enjoy myself. Knit all the way around for 60 rows. You know, my eyes are not that great. Even though I just had cataract surgery and I have 20/20 vision, I have to wear glasses in order to see up close. And counting these little tiny knit stitches is a challenge. It really is. So when I first did it, I actually took a picture and then blew it up. And I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So right now it looks like I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, then it gets funky because then it gets all mixed up, right? 12, I think that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So, and then do you count the cast on row as 18? I don't know. So I'm not going to count the cast on row as 18. So, okay, let me go ahead and knit this first knit so that I can keep this stitch marker on my needles. And I have really enjoyed knitting. I really have. I've enjoyed seeing it grow ever so slowly. But I have enjoyed it a lot, and I still would recommend it. I'm not frustrated. I'm just learning. I'm a little bit confused, and I'm learning. So I'm finding this, a little bit challenging, but that's okay because I feel like I have the foundation here. I feel like I have a good foundation. I just need to, oh Lordy, what's going on here? See, I think this is where it went a little wonky. Okay, when I start having trouble getting stitches through, then I know that something is going on. Something has happened. The row below, oh yeah, look at that. See, that's what I should have done. This right here. All right, well, I'm gonna do this as a knit. Oh my. I don't know what I did. And then go back to the purl. Here we go. All right. Well, I'm glad to see you. And, if you're joining me in this journey, I hope that you don't give up. There's going to be challenges. Hey, Kathy, how are you? It's good to see you. There's going to be challenges and there's going to be things that go wrong. So that first one that I frogged, even the edge here was all wonky and wobbly. I accept the fact that I'm going to have mistakes in here, which I do. And I accept the fact that it's not going to be perfect, but I at least wanted the edge to be good. And this edge I think is pretty good. It's not too bad. And so I'm just working to make this as smooth of a sock as I can. And then when I make the second one, just like with the dishcloth, hopefully when I make the second one, it will be easier and a little bit smoother, and I won't make as many mistakes. I'm hoping. So anyway, I thank you for joining me. This is just a really quick knitting update. And so hopefully next week I'll have a little more update. It takes a long time to knit 17 rows. These stitches are so tiny. And I'm not mad at it. I'm a little happy with it. So we'll see. I don't know if this sock is going to fit me. I did a medium. We'll see. It's supposed to be the circumference of your foot and all that, and that's what you're supposed to take into consideration with the sock size. And then the sock length, the foot length, is something that you work out as you're knitting. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, until next time, stay safe, be kind, and get knitting. And I will see you next time. Thanks for joining me.